Michael, can we get it out of the way and just ask you what the latest is from your point of view because of all the speculation?
Yeah, obviously I've just come out of the change room there, so I haven't spoke to Les or anyone. So as far as I'm aware, nothing's changed when I spoke to you yesterday. So that's the honest response to that question, mate.
It's the rumours are very strong. I know there are rumours. Is there an element, I mean, the way the fans saying at the end for you, top of the league, whatever, would there be a slightly bittersweet element if an offer came in for you officially?
Look, I think there's two things. If an offer comes in officially, you don't have to take it. It's not like, you have to weigh up everything. When I took the opportunity to come here, that was a decision as well, leaving a club the size of Aston Villa and the staff that I've been on a long journey with. That was a big decision for me at the time, and the unknown. So after the amount of games, to have the group playing the way they are and the feeling around the club is fantastic. It didn't feel like it was going that way when we lost here to Blackpool, when we drew 4 days later to Rotherham. So it took a lot of work. So yeah, I think, look, to have speculation around you in this game, you're either doing well or you're struggling. There's always going to be the noise around you. I want it to be positive noise about our players. I want it to be positive noise about the club. And with that, with good work, hopefully it becomes positive noise about yourself. I can't control what's outside. I can't control that. I haven't been searching and looking for another job. I've been really focused on here and the staff and the players here. So until I'm told otherwise, everything in the background's in the background.
But it must be very flattering that having put in all that hard work, Premier League club, big club, is interested in you. They must be flattered.
I did come from there though, and no, I do get it. I did come from there though. I did come from the Premier League to come and work here. I didn't come up the leagues. It's not that. I do know that level. I've been around and worked for some of the biggest clubs in the country, so I do know the expectations in places. And I felt over ready for this job, and I feel supremely confident in this job and the staff because it's not about me. It's about everybody together. We're still at the infancy of it. We've still got a lot more to do. It's nice that these things come along the way. But as I said, like, me and Les are really honest with each other. Like, he's been wonderful to me and the owners in terms of the transparency. You can see I'm a really honest guy back. They haven't spoke to me after the game. And today, early in the day, I took the decision to turn my phone off because you can imagine we had this game to concentrate on tonight. And, yeah.
I'm really sorry to keep pushing you, but you're going to turn your phone back on. It's going to ring. You're going to get all this noise again. You're going to have to deal with it, aren't you?
Oh no, yeah. I'm not running away from it. The moment Les speaks to me, I'll know one way or another, won't I? And then the club will communicate whatever we need to communicate.
But it must be your decision ultimately. If he comes to you and says that they've approached us officially, I presume that it's your decision.
Yeah, it will be. Listen, it'll be my decision, won't it? And when I came here, that decision wasn't taken straight away. I was working for Aston Villa when I chose to come here. There's a lot of questions you need to get answers to. So both inside and outside.
You're sitting top of the league. It's still early in the season and that, but hypothetically, it'd be very difficult to walk away.
Yeah, I think that's clear. I think football's about feelings and relationships, or relationships and feelings, and we've built some strong relationships here with the young team. They're building it in the changing room. They're the guys that go and play. I want to keep the focus on them as much as I can. When I come and sit here, I'd rather be speaking about them. I'd rather be speaking about Sinclair tonight on his first full debut. And the part of my remit here is to, if the boys are good enough, to give them an opportunity and to really try and develop our players. I'm being forced into talking about how well we're doing, which I don't like doing because it's so early in the season. Is that the 15th league game? We've just come off a defeat, which there was a lot of things that we were disappointed with, and I asked them to go and put it right tonight. And it's fair to say they're obviously not focusing on the speculation, are they? They're just doing their job, and fair credit to them.
Must be like, have you seen the table? I mean, have you actually looked at the table?
Well, we've got this thing that we like to look at with March, and then everyone tells me afterwards where we're sat, so it's not going in too well. The players are really good. They lived this last year. Mark was sat here this time last year in a really good, strong position in the league, and I'm hoping that we can get into a position where we can draw on last year's disappointment and understand, why maybe it went wrong. We've spoke that out. The key for us is to be in and around the playoffs at the March international break and then have a right go of it. That is the aim of everybody that we speak behind the scenes. That is the aim of all of us.
You must feel that if things develop and you look at a different opportunity, you certainly will be leaving the club in an incredibly strong position. Won't be top of the league, stay only 15 games, but you must be proud at least of what you've done so far in a short space of time.
I'm pleased with what we've done so far. If I look at the games we lost points in, I think we could have more points. I think that's just the nature of the beast and the perfectionist in you. We still have issues with injuries that we need to get the bottom of, because tonight we ain't got Chris and Tyler, and so it was a big moment for us throwing Sinclair in like that, and he's rewarded us. But that shows you that I don't know how long we'd be able to stay in a season like that for example. We lost Jimmy Dunn at the weekend, so there's warning signs all round. I look at the results in the league this week. At the weekend we dropped points and everyone else didn't capitalise. Tonight we went and got 3 points and some results went our way. We just have to keep focusing on ourselves.
Odd question, but are you surprised that you're top?
No, I don't see anybody, and I haven't. I've been to 3 or 4 games in the league. I keep telling them that if they can stay humble and in terms of their work ethic, and they can keep them on off each other, that this team can go and do whatever they want. We're a talented bunch, Like I look at our right back and who we've taken on loan from Man United, he's top. I look at young Tim Robinham, who's what, before he's come here, has not played 90 minutes with men, and he's a really top player. And you've got Chris and Illy. You look at the 2 centre backs tonight, young Kenneth. We've got a good team. It's just sometimes you have to make sure you get the dial and the balance right, because they can get too high and too low. And it's important that all the stuff outside don't break the bond they've got in that dressing room.
Michael, promise this will be the last one about the job, but is
Having
it
a
fair
right
to
go
say,
here, aren't you?
your job to win football matches,
Yeah.
this. And I mean it in a nice way, because it's a fantastic view. Is it fair to say though that it's a dream of yours to manage in the Premier League?
100%.
So.
Yeah, 100%. It's a dream for me to manage in the Premier League. It's a dream for me to go and manage abroad. That's why many years ago you start with the languages. That's why I took the opportunity to go to Brazil. I don't think enough of our coaches do it. I've got loads of things I want to do, including going back to be a head of a youth where I've come from originally. So I think for every single player in the dressing room that I spoke to in the summer and I asked them what their dream was, somewhere along in that conversation Premier League come up. So there's not an elephant in the room at QPR. That's what I'm holding everybody accountable to. That's why the club hired me, because they feel I'm ambitious and I'll drive standards to try and hopefully get the club there, or to get to a situation where we're selling another player like we did at Berriese if we can't go there. So there's no, that's not a secret. I think every coach in the world would like to manage in the Premier League, and I think every player would want to play there. It's the world's league, and I'm no different to anybody else. It has to be the right opportunity, it has to be the right moment, it has to be with the right club, and they'd have to give me some real clear understanding of where that club's going. All the conversations very similar to the ones I had when I came in here at QPR in the summer, and that we're working to at the moment.
Awesome. Can I just one from me on that? You've spoken really honestly tonight about the weighing up, the sort of it has to be the right club, right moment. I completely get that. I mean, when Graham Potter went to Chelsea, I'm pretty sure he turned down a couple of other jobs before he, but that was almost, they were too big. It was too big a job. Is it? I mean, is that the sort of thing that you're going to have to weigh up as well? If the opportunity comes.
You have to be excited to get out of bed in the morning when you take any job, a group of players and everything else. You have to be excited to get out of bed in the morning, and you really have to go into work and feel like in this job there's a lot of expectation. That's the word I use, not pressure. And what helps alleviate that is if the club's got a clear vision of where they're going, and they're going to give you a clear remit of what you've got to do, because then you can work towards that for the owners, and hopefully the fans buy into it as well. So when I was with Rangers, it's already been spoken about. I turned down 7 or 8 times chances to be a manager. I was very picky. I've shown that in the past. So even this summer, QPR wasn't the only team that I could have gone and joined this summer. So I was picky in that as well. So I actually do look. There's some things that I look for, which I just explained to you. So yeah.